A $91 billion bailout package for Greece and settling millions of refugees. Those are some of the issues that the European Union finance ministers are trying to agree on in Brussels. But as Mobin Nasir explains in this report, they're racing against the clock.
A somber mood at the European Union headquarters in Brussels. Donald Trump's protectionist policies and Brexit cast a shadow, leaving EU leaders feeling isolated.
In the coming years, we are on our own, which may be a good thing. Maybe that's what Europe needs to really work together in a better and more productive way.
As the divorce with Britain looms, EU finance ministers are trying to band together, but there are some bitter differences. On Thursday, the review of Greece's $91 billion bailout ended without an agreement. Member states are still divided over how many refugees each country will accept. And with elections looming in the Netherlands, France and Germany, electioneering could soon overshadow cooperation. A wave of populism is spreading across the continent, raising questions over the future of the European Union. But EU officials insist the common market will remain intact.
The euro is not going to collapse, neither in 18 months, neither in 10 years, neither in 20 years. We have a single currency. It is a major factor of unity between us. It's no use trying to divide the Europeans. But we need to strengthen the Eurozone. We need to complete the Eurozone. We need to deepen the Eurozone.
But Brussels' inability to find solutions fast is threatening the EU's credibility and the region's fortune. Mobin Nasir, TRT World.
Well, for more on this, we are joined by Dr. Haris Lambropoulos. He joins us live from Patras. He's an assistant professor of economics at the University of Patras in Greece. Dr. Lambropoulos, thank you very much for joining us. Good evening, Kalispera. I want to ask you, first of all, about Greece. We know that it's really a terrible burden on the country. How long is it going to be until the Troika and Greece come to some sort of arrangement that makes the burden, of the debt manageable?
This is a big issue, to be honest with you. And, we expect the official release of the International Monetary Fund report, which has repeatedly explained that if there is no a substantial relief of the Greek debt, it is not sustainable. So from the one hand, we have the IMF. From the other hand, we have the upcoming European elections in various countries. We have the European Stability Mechanism, the ESM, that could take part of the IMF duties. And we have the populism issue and the Brexit to be dealt.
Yes.
So I think this is a very, a mix which is quite difficult to solve. It's not only the Greek debt.
We have a little bit of a gimmick here from the internet, the so-called the Greek debt clock, in fact, which is live, and you can see the numbers going up and up and up even as we talk. You mentioned populism and elections. While these elections are taking place in Europe, nobody is going to want to be decisive over this.
Exactly. Nobody will take the hot potato, let's say, in his hand, and everybody will accuse the other that the European taxpayers will be called to pay more for Greece. This is a big lie. It's not like this. And if we want the Eurozone to stay intact and to have a successful dealing with the Brexit issues to be caused, then we all look at the problem on a realistic, with a realistic reach, and make very strong decisions. And from the other hand, then we can explain to also the Greek people that 80
Okay.
years of huge austerity did not waste.
Let me ask you one last question very briefly. Trump's likely ambassador to the European Union says the EU could collapse
Yes.
in the coming year or 18 months. Short the euro could also collapse.
Yeah, I read that. I don't agree with this opinion. And I think that the newly elected president, Mr. Trump, will have to face big problems and deal with big problems. He has to look at the issues of smaller countries because the battle between huge, let's say, forces could create collateral damages to the rest of the country. So I
Dr.
think that they
Lambropoulos,
should be more careful.
In a word, do you think that the United States wants the European Union to collapse?
As it seems, and according to some reports that I have read, there are vested interests that they don't want the European Union to stay as it is today and to move to a cohesion, to a union, to a real union.
Dr. Lambropoulos, thank you so much for your analysis. Concluding that interview
Thank
is
you.
saying that the United States, in many quarters, does not want the European Union to work, essentially.